Welcome to The New Perspective, a channel dedicated to awakening consciousness. A place to join together with companions in our spiritual journey. Hi, I'm Denny. Welcome to The New Perspective, a place where we come together to grow in consciousness in order to find out who we really are. A place where we join with others of like minds on our spiritual journey. And today we're going to take a few moments for me to share with you what I have learned in my 84 years about consciousness in a relationship. I was married for 62 years. They weren't all conscious years. A lot of them were really unconscious. The best part of being married that long to a therapist was that we paid attention. We paid attention to when our relationship worked and when it didn't. So I have a lot I can share. In order to be in a conscious relationship, it always begins with you. Oh, I know how tempting it is to say that other guy, if only they would, and blah, 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 blah. But reality is the mind has two masters. One is spirit and one is ego. And when you start down that blaming road and you start with all those things that's wrong with your partner, that is not spirit, darling. That's your ego. And when the ego is up, there's no chance of having a conscious, awake, loving relationship. So, how do I know when it's my spirit and when it's my ego? Well, it's real quick. Spirit feels like love. Spirit feels really close, really slowed down. You know how it is when you're just in that place where you're really good with each other and it's easy. That's when your spirit is up. Now, something comes along out of the blue and triggers you. And the next thing you know, boy, are you mad. How dare you look at me that way? I can tell by that look in your eye. I can tell by the way you hold your shoulder what you're thinking. Sure you can. Yeah, right. You have no idea what's in the other person's mind. They have just said something that's triggered an old wound in you, and you think it's coming from them. Well, in order to be in a conscious relationship, you need to find out where it's coming from, really. And the chances are like 99.9%, the reaction is coming from you. You've been triggered to believe that what you've been afraid is true about you just might be true. You might not be enough. Ooh, you might not be lovable. Ooh, there must be something terribly wrong with you. Boom, you're off and running. Now, one of the fastest ways to know whether or not you've been conscious in an argument or a disagreement is to take a look at it 2 days later and ask your partner, what were we fighting about? And when they say, I don't know, because it started off as money and it wound up God knows where, you were fighting for your life. That's how you know it's old. That's how you know it's an old childhood wound. We'll get more into how to heal those wounds. But the first step, the step number one, is to recognize it for what it is. It is not coming from them. It's coming from you. When you can begin to acknowledge that, when you can start taking responsibility, When you can find the thread that leads back to you, you're well on your way to waking up. So this is the most important thing you will ever discover in a conscious relationship. When there are upsets and it feels like it's the other guy, take a look at yourself and ask yourself, my God, how many times have I felt like this? How far back does this go? Wow, when did I learn this about myself? These are the ways we begin to become conscious, one step at a time. Okay, well, we'll talk about this some more when you join me again in our awakening in the new perspective. Bye.